Hello and welcome to another episode of Tonight with R2. I'm your host, R to the Icky, and I am so excited for tonight's show. I've got an old friend of the channel on, and sadly we had to cancel last week, but she was able to reschedule with me, and so here we are back tonight. But without further ado, let me bring her out here, Chanty.
Hi, thanks for giving me a second chance.
Oh, no problem. You got sick last week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's that time of year.
It is.
Right now, yeah, little Spidey is dealing with being sick.
Oh,
He's been sick for like a week and a half, like on
oh
and off.
no.
Like he gets better, and then like
Poor baby.
it's like a day later, then he's like back to not feeling well. So yeah, poor kid.
Oh my God. How old is he now?
He is 11.
Oh my God.
He's like he's like he's
Jeez.
like 5'5". He wears a men's 9 shoe. He's a moose. He's so
Oh
big.
my God.
But yeah, he's big. Yeah, I'm so thrilled you're here. You
Me
actually
too.
had I think I posted on something and you're like, I want to come on there, and I was like, perfect. I love it. I'm like, I love that. I'm like, not shy at all about it. You're just like, let me on the
No.
show. It's
It
great.
was really just an excuse to, catch up with you and see how you're doing and the
Well, that's
family and stuff. It's just been so long.
that's fine. This is like a phone call. Just people
Yeah, exactly. That
can tune in,
everyone's listening in on.
listening and watching in on exactly what it is. Um, but as I joked to earlier, I brought you out of streaming retirement here.
Yes.
So I'll before we get too carried away, who are you? What do you do? What have you done?
I am a person. No, and no, my name is Shanti, so we'll start there. And I know you because we, like everybody else during COVID and lockdown and all that bullshit, we all got into live streaming and podcasting. And through this podcast network, we ended up meeting. And, I think something that's bringing a lot of people together and also dividing people is we all like to talk about shows and movies. So,
Well, you two also have a very childish sense of humor like me, so I think that's another reason
oh,
why
yeah,
we hit
yeah.
it off as friends. So
Yeah. I totally have a dude's sense of humor, that's for sure.
that's for sure.
In fact, I forgot to ask if I'm even allowed to, drop an F-bomb or two.
Well, I mean, I don't police anybody's speech. So it's okay. It's tonight, so it's late night.
Yeah.
And but if it happens, it happens. So I think you're supposed to wait until like the 2 minute mark before you do. Well, we're 4 minutes in, so feel free to drop the f bombs.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Well, you used to, you guys haven't done it in a while, but you and your significant other do have a channel that you were doing about pop culture.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
of
I did link
course,
that in the description of
oh,
the show,
thank you.
so people can go check out what you
I
folks have
mean,
done.
we have the channel up still. All the social media is still up, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, Twix, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's the first F-bomb. It has been a while again, just I think now that life has just gotten back to normal, and like I was telling you, my job is mentally taxing, Josh's job is physically taxing. So by the time we're both done with work, we're so beat. So the thought of putting on a show is like it's just
Well,
it's draining. But Josh still has hopes that we'll get back to it, which is why I've been really hesitant to shut the channel down because we did have fun with it despite, everything.
sure. No, and I get that. And then, all it's too tough, right? Like the weekends. Like, what do you do on the weekends? Well, you want to spend your time with each other, then you're running errands, right?
Right,
The
exactly.
excitement of being a serious couple, errands.
Yes.
You know, that's what you get to do together.
My trips to Walmart are very important.
Yes. I totally get that. That is family quality time. Our family trips to Walmart to do all our shopping. Yeah, there's no need to get rid of I mean, it's certainly not hurting anything, but
Oh, no, that's why I haven't. I just,
even lets you go back and look at. I took a look. I was like, "What's the last thing you guys did?" Oh, you talked about boobs. Um, that was a two-part series, by the way.
that sounds about right.
Kind of fitting.
We're called Pop My Culture, for God's sakes. Our email is Pop My Culture Cherry. So if that doesn't tell you a little bit about us, then I don't know what does.
Sure.
There's that childish
I
sense of
I know,
humor.
I know. Boy, I miss hanging out with you. Well, before we get into it further, let's say hello. We've got a few people who've
Yeah.
stopped by. Uh, Mrs. R2 is downstairs watching. Just hello, Chanty in the chat. Uh,
Hey.
Jacob Ironside is here.
I
Hey,
remember Jacob. Hey, guys.
good to see you. Yeah.
It's been so long.
We got Tom, Rogue Attraction. Howdy. And we've also got, hey, this guy,
Hey,
JT, Late Night with Cap.
JT. What's up? No.
I
It's
know.
making me so nostalgic.
A lot of familiar, friendly faces. Yeah. So I kind of explained to you a little bit of how the show works, and
Hmm.
we'll get into that. The first part of the show here. Oh, look at that! I'm so sorry. You're you're cut off.
It's okay. You're all crouched down.
I haven't had anybody be in a vertical
It's his damn
camera
iPad.
damn iPad. Um, so we do what's called 10 rapid questions. So it's
Oh my
questionnaire
God.
and no wrong answers. Just answer as quickly as you can, and whenever you're ready,
Okay,
we'll
for a
go.
perfectionist, there's always a wrong answer.
Oh yeah, everybody does. It's all the fun of it. But I'm just letting you know, like you're not going to be judged here at the end of the day by your choices. So,
Oh, that's horseshit. Go.
favorite color,
Blue.
favorite food,
Pizza.
favorite drink,
Coca-Cola.
first thing you'd buy if you had $1 million.
Car.
Well, what kind of car?
Oh, honey.
You got to be at least a little specific on
Oh,
that.
I know which one I'd get.
Okay,
I'd
well, what'd
get
you
the
get?
car. I'd get the Mustang that Steve McQueen drove in Bullet. I think it's a
Okay,
1968 Mustang or 1967, one of the
yeah, I
two.
think it's 67, the green one. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
that's a
yeah. Absolutely. I'm a
uh,
Ford girl through and through. That's because of my dad. So yeah,
okay.
Mustang all the way.
There you go. Spain or New
Spain.
Zealand? Spain.
Spain.
Okay.
And that's because I'm Cuban. I have Spanish background and I've
No
never been to
problem.
Spain.
You Baldos here.
Wild.
This is hello to Shanti. Really quick, my grandfather worked for GM for 30 years, so I'm a GM guy.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's how I feel about Ford, so sorry. Uh, it's all good. Willy Wonka's factory or the museum from Night at the Museum?
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Willy
Morgan
Wonka.
Freeman or Denzel?
Morgan Freeman. I
Michelle
didn't really have to
Pfeiffer?
think about the Michelle
Yeah.
Pfeiffer. Please, are you
Well, you
kidding
dressed up
me?
as both, though, right?
I have dressed up as both,
That's why I had
but
picked these.
nah,
I
man.
kind of knew where you were going to lean, but I was like,
Pfeiffer's my girl.
no problem. Um, 89 Batmobile or the
89.
2022 89.
89. Please.
This one I was kind of didn't know because I'm like,
Yeah,
you were
no,
going
89.
hard for Robert Pattinson there.
I was because I really did enjoy the movie, but nah, man. I'm a Keaton girl. No.
No problem. And Tom says it was a '68 Ford Fastback.
Thank you.
I think the movie came out in '67, but I think it
Maybe
was
that's
like the
why I was, yeah.
'68 model. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that car.
All right, and then here's the one that will, ideally it's to make you kind of squirm a little bit. Keep, change, or delete their career. Conan O'Brien, Ewan McGregor, and Keanu Reeves. No
All right.
pressure.
Well, I'm keeping Conan's career. That's mm,
And Ubaldo says 89 Batman, always. Your face.
uh, I can't delete Ewan McGregor because,
Hello there.
you know,
He's
Sir Alec Guinness wishes he could have done Obi-Wan Kenobi that well. So I'm
you
gonna
would
have to say delete Keanu.
you delete Keanu,
JQ.
the nicest man in Hollywood.
I know that's terrible. Well, you know
Wow.
I'm not gonna delete Conan, but I'm
Wow.
not changing his career for anything. Nah, Conan's perfect.
I'll be honest. I think this is the fastest I've gone through this questionnaire with anybody
I
too.
thought I was gonna struggle, but
That
no.
yeah, that's impressive. You did well. Yeah,
I
no,
really I really know what I want.
I thought you were gonna be like, you got to give me 5 minutes here, R2. I'll be back. I'll let you know. I thought you
Man,
might go.
that
I
was a
need it.
toss-up though, because I love Keanu. He's not a great actor, and I think that's why, because Keanu's just not a great actor. So I'm deleting his career. Sorry. Oh my
Tom
God.
said that's maniacal. Thank you. I totally intended that. Yeah, I thought you might have to take a drink or something while you were doing this.
Sorry. I ruin everything.
No. It's all good. It's all good. I totally intended for that. Well, very good. I love it, and like I said, no wrong answers there. That's the way you got to decide. So awesome. Well, with that, we will get on to the main part of the show. But quick, we had something, in pop culture that was really sad that happened this past weekend, and that was the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. And it's a real sad story. I'm sure everybody knows what happened, so there's no real reason to get into it. But just what a phenomenal career he had. I mean, not only with acting, but especially with directing, and in his first handful of films too. I mean, my God, he knocked it out of the park.
Oh yeah. And I mean, my sister and I, we're like 3 years apart. I'm 39, she's 36. And we watched reruns of All in the Family all the time. So that is my first memory of Rob Reiner is actually as an actor. And then of course, I watched The Princess Bride when I was very young. When Harry Met Sally is my absolute all-time favorite rom-com. Love A Few Good Men. But I had actually, you have Spinal Tap up there, so which leads into the story that I wanted to tell. I had actually never seen Spinal Tap. It was always on. I have like a bucket list of movies,
Hmm.
and Josh and I decided to throw it on because I had never seen it and the sequel had just hit HBO Max. So he's like, "Let's watch." And I said, "Okay, fine." There was nothing else to watch. We watched it. We thought it was I thought it was so funny and just absolutely brilliant. Did not realize it was his first, like, it was his directorial debut. And literally within 5 minutes of us talking about the movie, I was scrolling through Twitter and the news had just broke that he had been murdered. And Josh was like, "What the we literally had just finished watching the movie." And then we decided to watch the sequel and then found out that it was actually the last movie he directed. So kind of a weird bookend in his career that he started with Spinal Tap and that was also the last thing he
It
directed. It's eerie. It's eerie.
yeah, it's eerie. It's somewhat, as tragic as it is. It's also kind of nice
Very
that
full
his
circle.
his his directorial career started with Spinal Tap and ended with that.
Yeah, so he came full circle at
Yeah, yeah,
least.
and he
Yeah.
he kind of ended at least that you could kind of say working with a bunch of people that he really enjoyed working with. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's Spinal Tap is so good, especially I mean the most classic
And
part to me is the whole our amplifiers go to
go
11.
go to 11. And of course, as a pop culture freak, like I know what Spinal Tap is. I
Yeah.
I know what, the famous scenes are, but being able to finally sit down and watch the movie from beginning to end and watch it play out within the movie was absolutely hysterical. Just brilliant stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's such a classic film. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these were just. He did Spinal Tap. Then he did another one. I can't think of what it was called with John Cusack. That wasn't nearly as big. But then he did Stand by Me, Princess
Mhm.
Bride, Harry Met Sally, Misery, which I
Misery.
didn't realize he directed Misery. But then he
Yeah.
did, and they did A
Mhm.
Few Good Men. And for some reason, I always thought he directed Throw Mama from the Train. That just seems like it makes me think of him, and even
Yeah.
Sleepless in Seattle too. In all honesty, but he acted in those, and then even too, if you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, he's
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
good in that.
yeah. Love
But
that movie.
it's nice to. I mean, a lot of people, yeah, are just remembering, you know, the wonderful content that he was behind and involved with, and then even to a lot of Hollywood, just a lot of walks of life, people that you may not expect that have come out and just said wonderful things about him.
Yeah.
As a person, he was somebody that it sounds like everybody really liked him, and he was a really, really nice guy. And so
Yeah.
it's very sad that he's no longer
It
with
is.
us. And so I just, yeah, I wanted to bring that up real quick. Is sad as it is, just to remember, just yeah, such great movies he's done. Love them all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and with that, we will get into the main portion of this show, and that
Cool.
is your three favorite movies.
Okay.
And these are just, I put them in the order that you gave them to me. I don't know if everybody seems sometimes ranks them and sometimes they don't, but I,
No, no, I put them in the order that I would
sure.
definitely rank them. This was tough though. This
It's,
was tough. The
before I show to, I try to tell everybody, I'm like, you can pick your all time favorites, but you can pick like what you currently just like. It's whatever you want to have fun talking about is really what it comes down to.
TV shows was easier to pick because I'm pickier about TV shows. To me, TV shows take a lot more commitment. So I can't say that there are a lot of shows that I've actually seen from
Hmm.
beginning to end. I always fell off somewhere. But movies, I've just watched so many that
Yeah.
it's like asking to pick your favorite child. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
I always think about it. I'm like, man, if I got asked to do this would be tough for me. So
Which, behind the scenes fact, I came to you earlier thinking, oh my God, I think I might have to switch this up
yeah,
because of course, because I delayed this a week. Of course, I started overthinking it. But yeah, no, I'll start with my number one in the order that
sure.
I did it. The Wizard of Oz. And I like how you told me to write a summary. I literally wrote it down like purely from memory. I mean,
Okay.
sure. So I said, a Kansas girl named Dorothy, dreaming of a world outside her farm, is swept to the land of Oz via a tornado, because that happens. And in the midst of everything, she meets, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, and trying to defeat this, witch and get to Oz so that way they can meet the wizard, and so she can get her ass back home to Kansas. And I put this at number one because every time, kind of like the free association that you did earlier with the questions, every time someone asks me what my favorite movie is, this is actually the one that just comes to mind. So I don't fight that at all. It's always the first one. And I
No,
don't know.
I get it. I mean, this is something I feel like everybody grows up with this movie.
Yeah, yeah,
This
it's
is,
absolutely epic.
well, not only that though, but like it's one of those things. It's not on constantly, but it's always on. Like it's like it'll come on during the summer. It seems to kind of come on during the holiday time,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like around Thanksgiving or maybe even during, as we get close to Christmas. It seems
Christmas,
like
yeah.
where like you would like end up seeing this on like like network TV, or then you'd like catch it on like TBS or TNT. I feel like,
It's still an event to watch the movie on TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's one of those too where it's like to me like I this is golden age of filmmaking to me, too, just with
Yeah.
like the sets and how everything's done. And there's still somewhat a little bit of movie, but still like almost the type of the way that they would almost do like a stage production,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it literally feels like a Broadway musical
Yes.
being filmed is what it feels like. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And then, as a kid or as any kid, your imagination's running wild and you wish you could go to a place like this. And even as adults, we love movies because they transport us, they take us
Yeah.
someplace else, they make us forget about where we currently are. And this movie 100% does that. She wants to go beyond the rainbow, and she sure does.
Oh yeah. And not only that, but like this is our first frightening villain of childhood, I feel like, the Wicked Witch. I mean,
Oh,
just
yeah.
how scary she was as a
Hmm.
kid, too. Like not only that, yeah. Well, Mrs. R2 has been on a big Wicked kick right now,
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
and she's a big fan of that. But yeah, the two of them recently watched The Wizard of Oz. It was on the other day. Um,
Yes, that
oh, I have not.
is super, super interesting. You need to find clips of that because it's actually really cool. A lot of people complained because they had to change certain things about the movie, but I
I
we thought it looked actually really cool.
I feel like almost anything in that place has got to be an amazing event.
You're like fully immersed. Like it doesn't get any more real than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will mention I would have laughed my ass off if when you gave your synopsis if you had said Kansas farm girl drops acid
That's pretty much what happens.
for how you would
Kansas girl
describe.
severely concussed.
Yeah,
This is really what happened.
yeah,
Suffering from brain damage,
that's
goes to the land of Oz.
um, and it's funny too. Like the beginning, it's not really black and white; it's sepia, right?
So it's funny that you mentioned that. I don't know. Does everybody know what the Mandela effect is?
I
It
do. I
it's
mean,
when yeah, it's when, people have, a different memory of an event that happened, somewhere in time,
well,
you
it's a
know.
fairly large group of people that
Yeah,
have
it
a
is. And they
a
all misremember like the same thing. It's a very strange phenomenon.
and it started with people getting the day that Nelson Mandela died
Right.
confused.
Correct.
People thinking that he died in prison, and then people thinking that he died earlier than he did is the
Yeah.
other one. There's kind of like two different variations of actual history.
Right.
Um,
Well, as time went on and watching the movie obsessively as a child, as time went on and watched it at a bit of a later age, like maybe towards the end of high school, I noticed that, yeah, it begins in like that sepia tone, that brownish kind of color. And I
yeah,
was like, I know I have seen it where it was black and white versus that tone, and then it goes into the color. And I ended up reading on IMDb, which, by the way, The Wizard of Oz has some of the longest trivia I've ever seen on IMDb. I still haven't finished it to this day. There's so much. Apparently, there were some TVs, like depending on what region you were living in, that they actually played it where the beginning was actually in black and white and not the sepia tone. And I thought I was going crazy. And then when I was moving out of my apartment, I came across a videotape recording of The Wizard of Oz that my grandparents must have recorded for me and my sister when we were kids. So this is mid 90s. I popped the tape into the VCR because I still have a VCR. And that's why I remembered because it was in black and white. So I have
yeah.
the tape where it was in black and white. And
Well, and I was going to say that too. I'm like, I kind of wonder if it was even too, just because of um, CRT TVs. I mean, in comparison, are were such lower definition, and just
Yeah.
how things came across to, we weren't streaming them, things like that, or watching them on a DVD or Blu-ray, and they kind of also been degraded a little bit, where they came across more black and white than the sepia. But yeah, when they were watching it, I was like, I swear I always remember this being black and white, but I'm like, yeah, I guess it was more of that bronze color.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really quick, because you brought up like conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Last time you were on a stream with me,
Uh-huh.
I was filling in for JT on his channel. Do you remember?
Okay.
And remember,
Yes.
I talked about number stations, and I scared the crap out of you and everybody else in the chat. And I thought everybody would just think it's interesting.
It was interesting. I didn't know
But
anything about it. No,
I
believe
know,
me, I will never forget that stream
but
because
I
some
but
of the sound clips you played freaked me the
I
hell
remember you
out.
messaged me. You're like, I'm freaking out about this art.
I suddenly felt like, oh my God, by just watching this, the government or some black ops or something is going to be right outside my door, ready to black bag my ass just for listening to this.
Yeah,
That's how it felt.
that was a fun episode. It
It
just
was a fun episode, but it was really interesting. So thank you. No, I
you're
learned something that day.
I yeah, no problem. I remember everybody was like, I'm so freaked out right now. And I'm like, what? It's just a sound effect. It's not gonna hurt
Oh my God. And then of course after the stream I was on Wikipedia and reading up all about it. So
you. Yeah. Oh, so much fun. But no, I mean, like, this is a pick. When you picked it, I was like, I get it. Um, this is a tough one to pass up, and
yeah, I even asked my mom earlier. I was like, "Oh, I'm going on this stream with a friend that I haven't seen in a long time." And I was like, "What's your favorite movie?" She's like, "I don't know, man." She's like, I go back and forth." She's like, but she's like, "Yeah, The Wizard of Oz for sure." So I feel like it's a
now
lot of people's pick.
you used to be in Florida. Now I know you didn't live near the Orlando area, but did you
No,
ever
no.
get to go to, um, when it was still really kind of MGM Studios, but now Hollywood Studios at Disney, and when they had the great movie ride, and towards the end of the ride, you went to Oz, and you ended up in Munchkin Land, and they had, like, this, at the time it was one of like the pinnacle animatronics, and it was the Wicked Witch, and you had to follow the Yellow Brick Road to get out. Did you go?
You have deeply, deeply depressed me bringing up the great movie ride. I was furious when they got rid of it. It was my favorite ride at MGM. And yeah, and I still call it MGM. I very rarely do I call it Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios. Yeah.
That ride, yeah, I love that ride too. I mean, when Mrs. R2 and I got married, we honeymooned at
Oh,
Disney World, is where we went, and we went on that ride a ton because, one, it was fun, but at the same time too, it was like, it's so air conditioned in here.
but it was such a cool ride. And I
Yeah,
loved how like the tour guide that's on your boat would be very interactive with the whole
yeah,
thing. So yeah, no, that was always a really fun ride.
yeah. But yeah, I always think of that animatronic was impressive.
Yeah.
So when you brought this up, yeah, it made me think. I was like, I gotta ask her. I'm like, did you ever get to experience that? Well, I'm glad that you did, but yes, I agree.
And
It's
I have seen the ruby slippers in person. That's another thing. I've seen a couple of the costumes in person, which is really cool. I went to the when I went to LA for vacation, I went to the Academy of Motion Picture Museum that they had recently opened, and they had a whole Wizard of Oz section that was just amazing. They had
that's
the witch's hat, they had the cowardly lion's like mane, they had her dress and the ruby slippers. It was really cool.
Yeah, Warner Brothers does a tour, and they do like three. They do like a 2, a 4, and a 6 hour tour. And my
Yeah,
brother and I, we did the middle one because we were like, what if it
I did the
sucks?
2 hour one, yeah.
And it was like, what do we do? But it was neat because they did have like a lot of like TV show characters and movie characters, like outfits, and then it was like, you'd see and you're like, my God, these people are like anorexically like tiny. And every now and then there would be somebody you're like, well, that actually person seems normally proportioned. But like, there's so many actors and actresses. I'm not kidding. Have waists this big. It's absurd.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, but no, phenomenal pick. I love it. I love it. And you say your next one. I already gave you grief about it because you talked about it. You ready to go on to that one?
Go ahead.
It's a
It's a
wonderful,
Wonderful Life.
fitting for this time of year.
It is. It is. Oh my God. Okay, so Jimmy Stewart plays George Bailey, who's just this guy living in Bedford Falls, and he's contemplating suicide and at the beginning of the movie, and these, I guess, who is it? It's like Joseph, like actually like Joseph and whatever, they're talking to Clarence the angel, and they send him down there to, but they, the whole movie basically is they want to show Clarence, who's trying to earn his angel wings. They want to show his life from beginning to up to the point where he wants to commit suicide. And it's just showing that he is just a guy that has just been dealt a bad hand. He can't go to school. His father dies at the beginning of the movie. His uncle loses, a deposit at the building and loan that they work at, and everything is just going absolutely wrong. And then Clarence comes down, shows him what life would be like if he didn't exist, and he decides that he does want to live again. And the movie basically wraps up with this image that you see here, and all the townspeople get together and decide, he's been such a good person to them throughout the years and gave up so many of his own dreams to help everybody else out. And it just ends with the whole town coming together and donating all the money that was lost so that he could keep the business. And it's, I don't know, it's just a really great feel good movie. So I've always loved it, and I've been watching it for a long time. I think the first time I probably watched this movie was maybe in like the fourth or fifth grade, and I've been watching it ever since.
I was gonna say it's a movie that has been referenced and like spoofed so many times
Oh
too.
God. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Have you ever seen the alternate ending that SNL
and
did
SNL.
back
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
day,
I think of that more. I would
where they
almost say,
beat the shit out of Mr. After Potter?
yeah,
Which,
yeah.
by the way, back in that time, typically you weren't allowed to let your villain get away. And if you really think about it, nothing ever happens to him. It's like they just, whatever.
Well, I mean, it does have a happy ending, right?
It does, and that's why I like it. And
Yeah, at the same time, too, it's one of those where you're like, this guy's got a family and he's gonna kill himself. Just
I
leave. It's like, God, George is selfish.
my thing is that the problem, I guess, what I like is he finally realizes that the things that he was measuring in terms of success are not the things that he should have been measuring. He didn't see that having this family and helping out everybody in town and allowing people to have houses that were affordable and stuff, like he didn't see like those things do make you successful as a person for your soul, basically. Like, who cares that you're not rich? Who cares, this and that? Like, you got a beautiful wife, you got kids, you got a
Yeah.
big two-story house. Like, it's a
Buck
movie
up,
that tells
man.
you got to put things in perspective sometimes. Sometimes you just lose sight.
Sure. Um, but yeah, this is, well, I mean, same thing. This is a very much perfect choice for this time of year.
And I actually
It,
wasn't sure about this one. This was almost going to be Gone with the Wind.
oh, okay. Wow. You, you definitely are a fan of older films.
I like the golden age of Hollywood, 30s, anything like, I mean, I love the 80s, don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
the 30s through like the 70s is typically where I like to live.
I was gonna say that makes me think of my mom. My mom watched a lot of stuff from that. And I remember as a kid, I'm like, God, this is boring.
No, I watched everything
Everybody's so
that
serious.
No, I watched everything that my parents used to watch when they were kids,
Yeah,
and I watched everything that my grandparents used to watch, along with whatever was popular during my time, during my childhood. So just completely well-rounded with that.
yeah. Tom says best Christmas movie,
I
period.
agree. It's just beautiful, and it always makes me cry.
Um, but no, I think it's another really really good pick. And and I like it. Now, if you're ready to go on to your next one, I do have a little bit of commentary before I flip to it.
Okay.
So you pick Wizard of Oz, and then you pick It's a Wonderful Life, and your third pick you followed up with The Devil. You talk about going from one spectrum to the other here. Not judging you, I just that's quite the,
I
the
think I
quite the
think
choice.
I think horror gets a bad rap sometimes. And this was like the first horror movie that was actually recognized by the Academy. And I love it because for someone like me who's very big about personal space, this to me is like the ultimate in invasion of my personal space. And not only that, even if you want to take the horror as it's just a good movie. I just think it's a good movie, and there's so much more going on than just this, little girl who's been possessed, by a demon, and her poor mother who's going through a divorce is trying to deal with all this. But on the other side of it, which people I feel like never talk about, is you have the priest, not the actual exorcist, but the other priest who has lost his faith and, you know, loses his mother at the beginning of the movie, and he wasn't around when she died. And, you know, to then have this struggle as a priest, whether you should thinking that should I even be a priest anymore? I think I've lost my faith. And then he's being called upon to do the ultimate task, which is to drive this evil force out of this poor young girl. So I think it's a very powerful movie. I still think, even though I get it, it's from the 70s, it looks dated. I know at this point for a lot of people it looks stupid and cheap, but I still think it's
It,
very scary, and I finally got to see it in theaters when it was re-released because I had never seen it in theaters, and I gotta tell you, that was a much different experience than watching it at home with the lights off. Watching it in theater was creepy. I can see why people
oh
fainted
yeah.
and ran out of there.
Well, you got to remember the two, right? This came out, I want to say, and maybe somebody in the chat can confirm this or at least correct me, but I want to say this came out. You're right, 70s, but it was early 70s. Like this came out like
72,
I was gonna
73,
say like it was like 1971, 72, 73. Like it was early 70s.
early on.
And if you kind of stop and like look at like films, like I mean, films did you kind of started to get R ratings at the end of the 60s. There were kind of a couple films that were R rated, but for what occurs in this movie, this is like was so dark and twisted for its time.
It goes so hard, yeah,
It,
especially for the
and
70s.
yeah, yeah, and
And
there's
even
one.
now, I'm sorry, it's uncomfortable. There are certain scenes that are
Well,
just
yeah,
horrific.
especially some of the things she does to herself.
Yeah.
We won't get into it there, but even for that fact that like something like that was shown because right, it's the character's a young girl. Um, but and then they brought in for like there were scenes where they used like a contortionist too to
Mhm.
like do some of these moves and things like that, and um, it's one of those things. I mean, it's like any older film. I mean, it is dated, but it fits for I guess the era. Too
It
is the other thing.
does. It does,
Um,
but that was also just the 70s. I always kind of look at the 30s and 50s were great for romance and film noir type movies. The 60s was kind of the screwball comedy decade, your Pink Panther and
sure.
things like that. And then the 70s got into the dark, gritty stories. 80s became more fantasy sci-fi. And then,
Yeah.
there's been a trend.
Well, 70s too, like the way I would almost describe it, like you said, it was gritty, but like it's kind of like also like Star Wars, right? Where like
Hmm.
everything, up to like the 60s always was very polished. And
Yeah.
you started to get movies that looked and felt had a like an old, worn, and dirty feel to them. And I
Yeah.
and I don't mean like, oh, it's dirty. I mean like Star Wars, like the spaceships were all like dirty and
Yeah.
grimy and beat up. They weren't these pristine, like something out of a museum that was meant to be touched with a white glove. Um,
Right.
like 2001, right?
Hmm.
Um, and even to like the 50s and the 60s too, still very heavy in westerns. And
Hmm.
right, you got like right, especially like think of like the spaghetti westerns with Clint
Yeah, you
Eastwood,
got
right?
John Wayne and Gary
Like
Cooper
those were
and
a bit gritty too, but they weren't
yeah.
the same caliber that you got in started to get of films in the 70s. And this was
No,
kind
this
of the first one, I feel like. Maybe The Godfather, you could kind of almost was
Yeah, because look, I mean, think about it. You got The Godfather, The Exorcist, French Connection. I
yeah,
mean, y- no, Bullet didn't come out. That was in the 60s. But I mean,
yeah,
the 70s was super gritty. Midnight Cowboy. What else? Taxi Driver. The
yeah.
70s
Well,
was
and then like Alien too.
hardcore. Alien.
Yeah, I mean in
I
terms
mean,
of scary films, I almost feel like it
oh, I
started with
love the 70s
Exorcist
for horror. Yeah,
and
no,
then
the
it
70s is my favorite decade for horror.
it ended with Alien in terms of
Hmm.
just sheer terror.
Yeah.
And that I was gonna say for me, that's more of the type of horror films that I like. I really like sci-fi and monster horror films. So
Mhm.
Alien, and then I think the only thing that compares to it, and I think it's actually scarier, is The Thing.
I love the thing. That
That's
movie's great.
yeah, that movie's that's another wild film.
I love it. So
Um,
sick.
but yeah, yeah. Um, but too, I forget who posted it, but somebody posted it was this image. It didn't have the Exorcist name there, and it didn't have. I can't think of what his name is in this movie, and I can. His name is on the tip of my tongue. This actor Max von
Oh, Max von Sydow.
Sydow, yeah. Um, who, my God, talk about a guy who had like he looked the same age from here to like when he
I was
passed.
just gonna say when we saw him in Force Awakens, I was like, dude, this is what he looked like in The Exorcist. How did they know
Yeah,
this?
or like he was in Minority Report too, right? Like that was
Yeah, I
like
think
another
so.
one,
Yeah.
but like God, what a career that man had. But it's the Ghostbusters. It's all four of them standing in front of the house, and I was like, I'd like to see that movie. Just imagine Ray and Venkman dealing with what's her Reagan, right?
Yeah, Reagan.
Yeah, just imagine those two dealing with Reagan.
Fun fact, especially living now where I'm living, Josh and I actually visited the house and the famous steps where they filmed The Exorcist, and
Oh
we
wow,
we climbed those steps. Oh my God. Let me tell you, there not only is it a very long set of stairs, but it
yeah,
is steep. And I mean steep.
and
And
aren't they kind of narrow too? I want to say, like I
yeah,
remember, yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, it was, I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking, actually. And we were thinking about it, we're like, yeah, if somebody fell down these steps, they sure as hell would kill themselves. Like their head would totally be turned the other
yeah.
way.
Um, Ubaldo had said, "Now we are having fun." Yes, the '70s were dark times. Oops, that's what I heard. And even Disney with the Black Hole movie.
Okay, so I didn't know that that movie existed, and Josh had me watch it like 2 or 3 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. It's not great, but at the
It's
same time, it was great.
it is like a B movie, but it's yeah. it's
did.
one of
Like I
those.
appreciated what it was going for. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if
You're
you're
like, it's okay, you can disagree.
no, 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 no. But I'm trying to like think like you gotta. It's one of those things where if you didn't at minimum kind of grow up in like the 80s, I feel like, or were born in the 80s, where you kind of
Yeah.
experience with that, like that's a tougher film with being younger to like appreciate, like and unless like you have like an open, like you're open to those types of films. But yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, I
Is
thought
that
it
on
was
Disney
so
Plus? Now I'm
good.
kind of
Yeah, it is.
curious.
It is on Disney Plus.
Okay,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, that's where I watched it. Yeah,
I
no,
like
absolutely loved it.
I go like I haven't seen that Dog's Age, but like I haven't seen that like in Dog's Ages.
No, but to what you said, that's exactly why I am glad that my parents showed me the stuff that they watched and the stuff
Yeah,
that they listened to in terms of music, and the same thing with my grandparents because of that reason. Because now I can sit here and watch a movie from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and it doesn't feel dated to me because
yeah,
I'm like, that's the time period. If anything, I'm more impressed with what they did back then, with what little technology they did have. It's more impressive than somebody who's sitting behind a
yeah.
computer creating CGI
It,
characters.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
practical effects need to come back.
I've been saying that for a while. Yeah.
There's a charm to it, and it's a little sad too that so often not only that, but like so many films still use practical effects, but then they polish it up with CGI, which I don't like.
Which takes away
It,
from it's
it
like,
and two really good examples of that are the two most recent Predator films, Prey
yeah,
and Badlands. That there's a guy in a suit. Other than I think with Badlands, I don't think he was really the guy was wearing a mask much.
yeah,
But that probably made his job a little easier. I get that, but because that was the first time it was a fully CG head. But like even like Prey, like you watch the behind the scenes, and they had this like amazing costume, but so much of that film there's a CG overlay, and I
yeah,
hate that. And now it's a little fearful too because now we're going to have AI doing this work,
yeah. Now we're getting
and
into AI, which is even scarier. Yeah.
I don't care for that. I think AI is good in almost making like it's,
It's great for cat videos, let me
but
tell
like
you.
well, I was gonna say like very high definition animation in terms of like it almost looks real, but it's animated.
Yeah,
If that makes
right.
sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
example, like if you watch like some of like these fan casting trailers that people do, like I love those, and I kind of go like, I there's part of me it's like I would love to see a movie get made that way, and even to if they got to a point where they could do it well, where they could, and I kind of go right as long as people right are getting royalties or for like the licensing of themselves.
Yeah.
But like think of some of like producing some of the scripts that we didn't get, in like 70s, 80s, 90s, where it's like, these actors are too old, and it's like, yeah, like
Yeah.
produce a film that way. Like, sure, but don't produce everything that way,
Look, it's just like with the CGI. We as humans, we just can't help ourselves. We have to do everything until we beat it like it's like a dead
Well,
horse. And that's the problem. CGI was meant to enhance. Now we've used it completely as a cover up, and that's the problem.
yeah.
And now we're going to do the same thing with AI.
Hey, Matt Cat. Yeah, well, and a lot of that comes from just studio executives.
It's just laziness, bro. It's
It is.
laziness at this point. It's just pure laziness.
Oh, it
You
is.
know, I just finished watching 10 seasons of Smallville for the very first time. Please tell me how they were able to write 22 episodes a season for 10 seasons, and there were very few that I felt were like completely shitty. And
Yeah,
I ended up loving the show, and it was more entertaining than anything that's on right now, which is what really
yeah.
makes me sad.
Well, real quick, yeah, Tom brings up a good point. I mean, you could kind of, that's still, though, that's a monster movie. And there were monster movies
Yeah,
before that.
that's a
And
creature
even,
feature.
yeah, it's still a creature feature. I mean, it was terrifying. You know, it was definitely
I would
impressive, but
consider that almost like B horror. in a way.
Yeah. But to go back to what you said about Smallville, I mean, the honest truth there is the reason the quality was there is because they had writers writing a show. They had people who wanted to create content, making making a product, making entertainment. And the honest truth is today, how often do you watch an interview or read an interview or even watch, a stream, let's say, on
Hmm.
YouTube where somebody brings somebody on who is a writer, a producer, a director, and what's the first thing out of their mouth of what they are and what they do in their job? I am an activist.
Yeah,
How
it's all
often is
political
it?
based.
Why does that have any importance, and why is that a measurement for you getting your job? And that's, hopefully we'll kind of start going back to that. I mean, there is some things that have come out that are looking really good, and uh, you know, we might kind of see a little bit turn of the tide. I won't maybe be for everything, but yeah, will we go back to actually hiring genuine content creators,
Josh,
not
yeah.
not activists?
Josh and I were talking about this, and we keep saying the same thing. Listen, I get it. You're a citizen in this country. I am too. I
Yeah,
understand that. But your job is to entertain and to create. If this is what you want to talk about, then get into politics and leave Hollywood.
yeah.
Like, I don't care what you have to think. No one gives a shit about what I have to think. I just want you to do your job. Your job is to entertain me, not to drag me down even more.
Well, not only that, but or so much of what we see with stories are just they're parallels to everything that's going on in real life and in to people that they don't care for with villains, and there's just nothing original. I mean, to me, like such a big example where we saw so many parallels to what was going on in real life that ruined it because I mean everybody was so kind of pumped for it, but it was like right when Disney Plus launched and all the Marvel shows
Yeah.
and how poorly those just they fell and hit so hard. But right? Look, Steve Rogers is back, and will
The other
that?
problem is that streaming came into the fold, and because these companies and production studios are no longer beholden to whatever the standards are of cable
Yeah,
TV and FCC rules and regulations and stuff like that. I think because now they have been given too much freedom, it's not allowing the creative juices to be flowing. If you're being told, hey, listen, we're only ordering one season, 22 episodes, that's what you have to write. I can tell you right now, that pressure will actually make the brain go. But when you're just on streaming and you don't have anyone to answer to, really,
mm,
oh, here's a check, go do whatever you want, and you're just letting someone, and it's a pure free for all, of course they're gonna throw a bunch of shit at the wall just to see what
yeah,
sticks. That's the problem.
yeah,
There
and that
actually needs to be some sort of, not restriction, but there needs to be structure. There's no structure. That's the problem.
yeah, yeah. There's definitely they're almost too open to things, and
Yeah, that's what it is. Yes, they are
the
too
the the
open.
budgets sometimes are outrageous for certain content too, and you've got that, and then another kind of flaw that you have, and a very good example of that is Stranger Things. It was this, and it not only was it Stranger Things, but it's happened with a lot of other previously non-network television that's been produced. But like these shows get real popular, and then what happens is instead of making a season, making seasons regularly, there'll be some gap where it's like it could be like 2 years before you get the next season, and it has such
Yeah,
a big effect. Like, right, Stranger Things, it's like all these kids are grown up adults now.
I know. I mean, Millie Bobby Brown literally just adopted a child.
Yes, she is a mama, and
She is a wife and mom. Like,
yeah,
what
yeah,
the hell? Same thing with Severance. I'm really glad that I waited to watch Severance on Apple when I did, because I ended up finding out that the fans of the show had to wait 3 years between season one and season two.
Oh my
And we
God.
we binged it like a week before season two premiered, and I mean, I know a lot of it was the writer's strike and the actor's strike that held a lot
Sure.
of things back, but I agree, even without that, and I feel like that's just an excuse.
Yeah.
I do feel like they're just taking too much time in between.
Yeah. That's kind of another
I
flaw
mean,
with streaming.
again,
Um,
network television was able to pump out 22 to 30 episodes every year.
yeah. Yeah. And it did kind of hold. I mean, it kind of gave you a fair amount of a story arc, and then there would be maybe you would say like 3 to 4 episodes that were just filler episodes.
And that's my problem too, is, okay, fine. If I get a 25 episode season and three of them were filler and two of them were shitty, okay, fine. The odds are fine because the rest was fantastic.
Sure.
But if you're gonna give me an 8, 10 episode arc and half of it is filler, or you give me the first 3 episodes, within the premiere, and then there's only 2 to 3 weeks more of content, like what are you doing? Like,
Well, the other kind of thing I would we are getting a little off topic with all this.
whatever.
It's fine. We're having fun. I'm just making sure we're aware. Too, like, good content, you can tell it's been mapped out. They
Yeah.
know what they want to do. They know where they want to go, and that is always a good sign of good shows. But so many of these shows, they don't seem like they have anything mapped out, and they're doing things by the seat of their pants too. And again, I think that comes with the whole streaming thing and not being
Yeah.
network. And
Which is why I don't know what anybody's opinion is on the show, but Josh and I just finished the first season of It, Welcome to Derry, and we actually really enjoyed it. We thought it had a solid finale.
mhm,
And one thing that we appreciated was that the creator said it's going to be 3 seasons. That's it. And this season's going to be in this decade, this
mhm,
season's going to be in this year, and this season is going to be in this year. That already gives me faith in the show. You're not giving me all of it up front and telling me what the mystery is, but we can see that you have a direction and you have it laid out.
yeah,
3 seasons, this is what each one's going to be. Okay, good. I can tell you have a plan in place.
that's smart. And not only that too, it's better to leave people wanting more than to
Hmm.
overstay your welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. If it takes you only 2 seasons to tell a solid story, then that's fine. It's a story. They don't all have to be long.
yeah,
It's okay. It's
yeah.
fine, you know.
No, I agree. I agree. Well, you said you had an honorable mention with your
I did.
films, and
And I am not afraid to admit this one at
and
all.
and what was that?
I love, and I mean love, the movie Showgirls.
Oh,
It
okay.
is the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen. I've seen it many times. I laugh every time. But what makes me sad about the movie is that there was so much potential. I
You,
feel like what I got in the movie Black Swan
mhm.
is what Showgirls was trying to be. It could have been a really, really great
Yeah.
movie, actually. Like, honestly,
I
that's what makes me sad. But I love it. It's a Lifetime movie on cocaine.
I was just gonna say, Showgirls came out. I want to say no. Okay, it was '95.
Yeah.
So I was 12. I so
Okay.
I remember this well, and that was such a big deal because
I did not
2 years.
watch it in 95, just to correct
Well, I didn't watch
everybody.
it in
I
'95 either, but
okay.
2 years, prior, Saved by the Bell had ended,
Yeah.
and it was such a big deal that
Jesse Spano.
Jesse Spano was playing a stripper because she was a feminist on that show.
No.
And that's kind of almost like what's funny is, right, like you think of like all nowadays, right, the Disney kids that like
Hmm.
as soon as like they're done with that, they're like, I want to, no
I want to
longer,
grow up
I want to
fast.
grow up fast. Yeah, it was like that was like, even though she wasn't a Disney kid, that was like the first Disney kid. I feel like in terms of like somebody going like, I am gonna, do a 180 on what I've been doing.
And I feel so
Um,
bad for her. It's not her fault. The director has said many times, like, that movie falls on me. And he's like, I don't know why she ended up getting all the hate. He's like, I'm the one who told her to act that way. You know what I mean? Like, just like,
well, I think it also comes down to,
and I was like, it's still, that's a choice.
well, not only that, but yeah, I mean, right? I mean, it's a little like, right, Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear he's a better actor than what he
Yeah.
was told to do, right?
Than what he was given. Yeah. For
Then
real.
again, at the same time, though, some of the episodes of Saved by the Bell with Jesse Spano,
I think we all know which one you're talking about.
yeah, I'm
She's
so
so excited.
excited. You knew it. Yeah, maybe she just wasn't made for it.
So
Again,
trivia about that. It'll make you feel bad for her
okay,
again. Okay. So I believe the CEO or something of NBC at the time when that episode was being made, he was very strict about drugs being mentioned on the show.
yeah,
So when she, I think, originally filmed it, she was supposed to be like on speed or something. It was supposed to be a much harsher drug. So of course, that's why she's playing it so erratic. And then they went back and changed it to caffeine pills
yeah.
because NBC was like, "No, you can't. We can't have you talking about harsh drugs like that."
Well, that's
So
like, I
again, I'm
forget.
going to defend her a little bit because that's unfair.
Well, that makes me think of, there was, I forget what it was, but there's an episode of The Golden Girls where Rose, I forget, there's some medication she's taking, and
Oh
she's like
no.
clearly addicted to it, and like she goes the whole night without taking it, and then like she wakes up, and I think I can't remember if it's Blanche or if it is Dorothy that's with her,
Mhm.
but they're like, "Hooray, Rose, you beat your addiction!" And it takes more than one night to battle that.
But there you go. That's my
Yeah.
honorable mention.
Well, really quick, I was gonna say, have you ever listened to Salty Nerd's review of Showgirls?
No. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to listen to
It is
that.
hilarious. Well, Jude is so funny on that. Um, the
I'm gonna have to look that up.
All right, I'm going to be cautious how I say this, but there's a particular body part that Jude talks about of somebody, and she's like, they're the color of red hots. Why?
I already know which part you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, I
It's
figured
it's
you would.
body paint.
But yeah, it's such a funny episode to listen
It's
to.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that.
Yeah, you will crack up listening to it. And like I said, Jude is so funny in that episode. But wow, when you were like honorable mention, that was not what I expected. But hey, everybody's got just that really bad movie that they just absolutely love.
I think it's highly entertaining.
For me, one of them that I totally love, and I'm like, it's the best Ghost Rider movie that's ever been made, even though it's not Ghost Rider, but it's Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage.
No,
I mean, that is, I'm like, how is this not Ghost Rider?
he's so crazy.
Oh, I know.
I love Nick Cage so
I
much.
know.
He's both great and terrible.
Um, I was gonna say, initially on your keep change and delete, it wasn't Keanu, it was Nicolas Cage, but I was like, Keanu's so nice. I'm like, I gotta pick him.
And it still didn't go the way you expected.
Well, no. I mean, I didn't know what you were gonna do. I knew you were gonna keep Conan, but I was just like, wow, is she gonna keep? Is she gonna delete Ewan McGregor? Is she gonna delete Keanu?
I can't bring myself to delete Ewan McGregor because I had such a crush on him when I watched Phantom Menace. I mean, I was a 12-year-old girl watching that movie, so I just fell in love with him. And he's in
I
Moulin Rouge, which is another like favorite movie of mine. So I can't, I can't,
no,
I just
I know.
can't.
Hey, believe me, I remember how much you loved Ewan McGregor. In fact, do you remember that video I made where you got your lightsaber working? That I edited
Yes.
it. Edited Ewan McGregor and me so horny. I'm using a free studio here. I can't upload any clips, but I was
Oh,
like,
darn it.
I should have. Wish I could have shared that. That would have been good. Well, I really love your picks for your movies, but I
Thank
think it's
you.
time that we get to. I think this is the right one. Nope. I'll
Nope.
just have to go through.
Nope.
We'll go into your favorite shows,
Okay.
and your first one here is a classic. It's another one that I feel like if I mean right for our age, it's
Again, we just watched everything, man.
look what Matt
Oh
Cat said.
no. Oh no.
I want to know, how does Matt Cat know this?
Don't ask, don't tell.
Oh my! Hello there. Um,
Hello there, indeed.
but like our age, I would say like this is something that like if you grew up watching Nick at Night.
Yeah, I feel like we were like the last like good lucky generation because I'm a millennial and I feel like it just went downhill after that, but we won't get into that. That's a
Um,
conversation for another
yeah.
day.
Well, I mean, this show is so classic and it's
It's iconic.
iconic too.
It was
It
groundbreaking, really.
well, yeah, because right, it was. Did they really have any other shows where a female was leading it at this
Not only
time?
that, but you have very clearly what is a Cuban man on
Yeah,
television with a very heavy accent, speaking Spanish every so often on the show when he's berating her. And it was the first show, I believe, to use the multi-camera shooting. So I
yeah,
think they might have been also the first show to technically invent the rerun, but there's some back and forth on that one.
yeah. Because when this was
Because
on at
she
the
got
same,
pregnant, she got pregnant during the show, and when
yeah,
she went into labor, instead of playing a new, like they kind of played like a clip show where they showed previous, so that was kind of like the first rerun in
yeah.
this in a sense because it was a clip show.
Um, well, and then too, I mean, like I want to say, I think like for what, like 7 or 9 years. I mean, this was the number one show. I mean, like
Oh yeah, it went for like
every
6, 7 seasons.
I mean, everybody watched Lucy. I mean, everybody watched this show. And yeah, like you said, I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, it featured interracial marriage.
Yeah, I mean, and then, you know, my grandparents recorded it all the time because um we didn't have Nick at Night in my house. There was a certain time at night that Nickelodeon, instead of kicking over to Nick at Night, it would kick over to A&E, which I don't even
Oh,
think
that's
A&E even exists anymore. But my
uh,
grandparents had it, and they would record episodes all throughout the week. So whenever my sister and I would sleep over, they'd pop it in, and we would just watch the episodes that they recorded. And coming from a Cuban family, we loved Ricky Ricardo.
yeah,
'Cause like, look at this guy flipping out, yelling at her in Spanish. We know what he's saying in Spanish, which just makes it all the funnier to us. But then we just loved Lucy because it's like, here's this classically beautiful woman, and she is just getting dirty. And there you go, like in that one with the grape, with the wine, with the grape wine, the wine
yeah.
grapes or whatever, and smashing around. Like she did not care about looking a fool.
Well,
and you got to appreciate that.
these three are clearly the most, I think,
Oh
iconic episode.
yeah.
All three. Her getting drunk off of this vitamin elixir that was,
Vita Vita Benjamin.
how much alcohol was it?
I forgot, it was like a
But
lot.
it was like a lot, but it was like it was like I part of me goes like it was 40% alcohol, but maybe it was 20%
I
alcohol.
don't remember, but it was a lot. And she just kept going and going and going.
Just gets utterly sloshed on it, and uh, I also want to mention. So my maternal grandmother
Mhm.
looked like Lucille Ball,
Oh,
and well, here to
my
go back.
grandmother always reminded us of her too, so I get you.
Yeah, and well, and then and she absolutely loved Lucille Ball too. Well, not only that, just to go back to earlier when we were talking about Rob Reiner, my grandfather was Archie Bunker.
Oh,
My
really?
maternal grandfather was
Oh man, God, I love
literally
All in the Family.
literally Archie Bunker. Just in terms of his views and how he talked, and he wore a jumpsuit like him at times. Yeah. Uh,
I also really love this show because, again, being a big fan of the golden age of Hollywood, when actors felt like our version of royalty, you know? They were like actually really super respected. And my favorite set of episodes of I Love Lucy is when Ricky gets a movie deal and they go to LA and they spend like a month there. And they had some of the biggest stars at the time. They had John Wayne, they had one of the Marx brothers on there, they had William Holden, and I mean, they just all these big Van Johnson, they had all these really huge classic stars where it was truly a big, big deal for them to be guest starring, and did it as a favor to Ricky because he was hobnobbing with all this Hollywood elite. So those are like some of my favorite episodes. It's the thing I put on when I really need a laugh.
yeah. Did now by chance I forget what it's called, and it came out a couple of years ago. Did you see the Amazon movie with Nicole Kidman and
I
Javier Bardem?
did not, because as much as I love Nicole Kidman and have been a fan of hers for a very long time, I felt she was miscast.
She looked an awful lot like her, and I don't know. I gotta say, you gotta watch it because it is
Is she any
one.
good?
It was good. I
But
really
was
enjoyed it.
she good? Because to
Yeah,
me,
no.
Lucille Ball was a powerhouse of a woman. She was a
Well,
fucking bulldozer, and Nicole
so
Kidman comes off very meek to me.
no. So
No,
that's
she
I was gonna
sells
say.
it.
So that's being the Ricardos. Thank you, Matt Cat. Yes, being the Ricardos.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Um, I mean, one, I was like, my God, I'm like, did Lucille Ball really say the F word as much as she does in this movie? Like, it was crazy. And yeah,
Oh, I
how
believe it.
much the movie, like she is very much like she was in charge of that show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it was like behind the scenes, it was you don't F with Lucy.
No,
Like
you
it was,
don't. You really, really don't. I
and
mean,
you get a little bit of too of like how the two of them met. Like they met like making essentially like cheesy
yeah.
B like romantic films, and not only that, like he cheated on her a lot, and
Oh
she knew
yeah,
about it. And then
yeah.
like they get into like her being pregnant and kind of that impact. Is it the greatest film? No, but I mean it's one of those things. If you
But
for the fact of liking things of period,
yeah.
it's a period movie. Um, she's not played meek at all. In fact, too, like I mean, one of it, like Nicole Kidman has had some work done on her, but like even like the makeup, like it was pretty good. I mean, it's not like I guess the way I would go with the casting is like that's not who I would have picked, but I don't
But
think she
she
did. I don't think she did a terrible
okay.
job of it. I mean, and even to like Javier Bardem, I mean, it's like he got picked because he's Spanish. I mean,
Yeah,
like he's not
yeah.
necessarily he's they kind of overcasted for Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah,
Desi
and
Arnaz
I can
there.
see that.
I
Yeah, that
mean,
was another thing. I wasn't happy with his casting either, and
but
I'm
it
very protective of the show and Lucille Ball, and so I'm very
but
particular.
it did well enough to tell the story.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, it's enough to where I would at least say it's worth watching once. Would you watch it again? Probably not, but enough to watch it once and be like, that was interesting.
yeah.
And yeah, I would, like I said, I'd check it out.
Okay.
But I was
Yeah, no,
curious if you,
no, I had never seen it. I mean, I've seen documentaries obviously on Lucille Ball and
yeah,
Desi because their relationship was just so well known, but and I mean, Star Trek wouldn't exist without Lucy. I mean, she's the one who told them, like, you'd be a fool to not create this show. So,
yeah,
and they took her at her word, and now we have Star Trek. So, thank you, Lucille Ball.
yeah.
No, I love her. Great respect for her as a comedian, as a
At,
businesswoman. So, yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's not there anymore, but for a long, long time at Universal in Hollywood, in the lower lot, kind of actually over by where Jurassic Park was, there was like a little building that was like a mini museum to I Love Lucy.
They had that in Florida as well. I
Okay.
remember it as a kid, and I'm pretty sure I have a picture of two Universal employees who were dressed as Lucy and Ricky, and they would go around walking so you could take pictures with them and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was over there, but yeah, I do remember
Yeah,
in
but that was a long
the
time ago. I haven't
mid
been there in forever.
2000s going down and they still had it, but
Okay.
once once they brought in like I almost want to say like the Transformers ride, I think they had because they turned that into that building became like the Transformers gift shop and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
God, I haven't been
But
to Universal in so long.
yeah, well, it's been 6 years since I was there,
Oh,
so
it's
yeah,
probably been 10 plus years for me.
yeah. It was the last theme park we did before we left California, so it was the year before. Well, Matt Kid said, yeah, he said it's worth the one watch, but yeah, like I said, I mean, you wouldn't
Yeah,
go back
okay.
to watch it and be like, oh, I love this, It's like I
Then
said,
I'll
it's the
give it a go.
interesting, and I don't think you'll watch it and go like I hate it. It's
Yeah,
just it's a
it's
one and
kind of like,
done.
okay, I watched this. I'm good. I'm done.
Oh, look at that! Oh my, that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Uh, I feel like nowadays so many kids would be like, who is Lucy?
Oh, you
Uh,
have no idea how sad that makes
it
me.
is
That
that's
makes
such
me
a
so sad.
it's such a
I
shame.
I watched so much great television sleeping over at my grandparents' house. Like, God bless Nick at Night. I watched
Yeah,
Cheers and Welcome Back Kotter and
the
I
Brady
Love
Bunch.
Lucy, Brady Bunch, Dick Van Dyke Show, the Bob Newhart Show,
Did
Newhart.
you saw Dick Van Dyke turned 100 the other day, right?
Please, let
Did
me
you
tell you
see people
something.
were censoring his name?
Okay, people are stupid and
I
they need
know.
to get over themselves. And two, after what happened with Spinal Tap, Josh said, "Don't you dare watch Mary Poppins and kill Dick Van Dyke."
Next famous person that dies, I'm going to be going. Did you watch a movie with them?
This happens to me, my sister, and my mom all the time. Like, we'll just talk about an actor that we haven't spoken about in a very long time, and then all of a sudden, like a day or two later, they're gone, and it's like, the
Sha-
hell?
Shanti's cursed.
I guess so, or psychic, one of the two.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, for me, the '90s.
Don't remind me, bro.
I mean, Nick at Night was showing shows that were 30 and 40 years old, and I mean
Yeah,
now. I mean, the '90s were 30 years ago. I mean, the '80s were
yeah.
40 years ago.
Stop, bro.
Uh, I'm 42, so
Really?
yeah.
Oh, that's kind of shocking.
It's like, wow, you sound disappointed. I'm so
No, no,
sorry.
no. I thought you were actually thought you were like closer to my age. I thought, not that I'm that much younger, but I know I thought you were like still in your 30s. Like,
No, no, I got a baby
no,
face.
no.
Yep, I am
Hold on to
42.
that,
I've
R2. Hold on to that.
had it for a long time. I don't think it's going anywhere. But no, wonderful choice here.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
do love your next one.
I
It
wish
is
Josh was awake.
Parks and Rec. Well, this is brought to by the people who created The Office, the U.S. version of The Office.
Yes. The Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, what's the other one? The Good Place. It's
Yeah,
all Mike Schur. He's
it's
just a
Mose.
genius.
Mose from The Office is behind all this. And well, I'll let you talk about it first before I say
Okay.
anything.
So for those who don't know, the person right there in the middle holding the flower pot, that's Leslie Knope, and really the show centers on her and all of her friends and stuff that you see here in the wonderful, eccentric fictional town of Pawnee, Indiana. And it's just about her life there, and pretty much she works at the Parks and Rec, but she obviously has some very intense political aspirations, and it's just a really sweet and funny show. Everyone's so absurd, and the townspeople are great. And that's the one thing that I really love about the show is the cast that you're seeing here. Yeah, they're the main characters, they're the main storyline, but it's the kind of show where you get to really know the townspeople to the point where you even have like a favorite townsperson. And it's another show where it's one of the few shows where I'm like, God, I wish Pawnee existed. I want to live in this lunatic town. It's so great. I love it.
um, yeah, it's they're all in small local government,
Yeah.
and it's but it's one of those things where I'm saying by like I love this show, but at the same time, it's one of those where I am kind of shocked that it made it as long as it did in the sense of the first two seasons are very tough. Once you've watched them and you know what kind of happens in the show, they're fine. But like this show took a long time to find its stride. It wasn't till kind of like the last third of the second season.
The thing is, which is actually the reason why I did not watch the show when it first premiered,
Hmm.
because it did remind me of The Office too much, and I
Yeah,
loved The Office, and I watched The Office while it was on. And as much as I love Amy Poehler because I was watching, SNL at the time while she was on there, and I thought she was so funny.
yeah.
And then while it was maybe already a little bit halfway through the series, I finally decided to watch it. Yes, the first season is rough. The second season, but the first season's short, so it's like whatever.
Yeah. It
The second season, it starts to find their footing, but really until Rob Lowe and Adam Scott come into it, that's where the show just
yeah,
takes off. Once those two enter the picture, it's gold after that.
it is. It is. And that's what I was gonna say. It's like not till they show up does it really, like I said, it starts to
Yeah.
find its groove. And
They all have very distinct personalities. You really do get
yeah,
to know them all and all of their quirks. I
yeah.
have rewatched the show from beginning to end more times than I
Oh,
care to
we
admit.
have it in this household too. I mean, The
It's
Office.
replaced Friends. I used to watch Friends all the
Yeah,
time. I don't watch it anymore. This is what's replaced that. Like
I well, I was gonna say I absolutely love Ron Swanson and Andy Dwyer.
Ron fucking Swanson.
Um,
I love
are
Ron.
are so great. And because of the show too, and just like Nick Offerman in real life, I am a big fan of Lagavulin.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
absolutely, oh my god, that's such good scotch in my opinion. It's like drinking a campfire. I know that sounds weird, but
No, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, I know
that's
what you mean.
that's
Yeah.
the best way I would describe it. And then
Yeah. No,
just
I like a good scotch.
Andy, Andy's innocence and aloofness and comedic timing on top of it. Like Chris Pratt is just so good.
And
on
what
the
a
show.
beast, man. Anytime you saw him fall or throw himself on the ground,
It was
like
him.
that guy committed, it was him. He threw himself. Sometimes, like he would destroy the officers and stuff like that, and you would like see some of the cast
It
members like are genuinely shocked at what he's doing.
it did not make well. There's two. He has two of the best outtakes that did not make it to actual
I know one is
television.
about the Kardashians.
Yeah, what is there? It's Leslie and it's gosh, why can't I think of Ann
And
Perkins?
yeah,
It's Rashida Jones, right?
Jones.
Yeah, yeah, and in the green sweater there. They're like, what's a good comeback story? They're like Robert Downey Jr. I forget who else they say. They're like throwing people out, and he's like Kim Kardashian, and they're like Kim Kardashian. He's like, yeah, I in that video she gets come on her and just everybody loses it. April Aubrey Plaza just hits him so hard. Um, and it's like it's just so perfect. There's that, and then there's an episode where they go to the hospital. They've got HMO insurance, so it's like everything they're getting done at the hospital. Like Andy's
Oh
like
yeah,
hasn't
yeah,
seen a
yeah.
doctor since he was a child,
He's like, I
and
got my knees microwaved, and she's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
great.
yeah. He goes, he's like the optometrist, the dentist, like everything. But there's a scene where he's talking to the doctor, and he goes like the doctor's like, "Is there anything else wrong with you?" And he's like, "Sometimes I wipe and I wipe and I wipe and I wipe and I wipe," and he's like, "Still poop, still poop." It's like I'm wiping a marker. And he like rubs his nose, and same thing. Aubrey Plaza's like behind. She just loses it. But he does it just with like such innocence, and all of it. And like
No, the show is really, really, really great. I mean, I can quote it all day long. It's gotten to the point that when certain things happen in life, I automatically think like this is a Parks and Rec moment, or I'll think of a scene or a line from the show. Like I've just at this point, I think I
I
have the entire show memorized.
well, Matt Katz says he thinks Amy Poehler is overrated. I almost say I feel like Amy Poehler is not entirely acting. Like I genuinely feel like
Like she's just
Les
that kooky.
Leslie Nope is very much like her personality. Like I mean,
Yeah.
like that's what she did with just how like upbeat and friendly and positive she is. And just right, like she's like every moment in her life is celebrated as a holiday.
Dude, oh my God. How did they keep up? And she wants a gift for every little thing. Oh,
Yeah,
here's the first time you ever delivered mail to me. Like, what the fuck do you celebrate, girl?
I know. Just everything is a cherished moment to her. And I want waffles every time I
I
watch the show.
know, I know. And her and Ron talking about how anyone could ever eat anything else other than breakfast food
Yeah,
is like one of my favorite lines because I agree, breakfast is the perfect meal. So, no, no, no. It's a great
I
show. It's just fun, it's silly, and it's very sweet and
I
endearing.
well, and then he's got his multiple ex-wives named Tammy, and one of
Tammy,
them one of them is played by his real wife. I cannot think of her name right now.
Megan Mullally.
Megan, yeah, Mullally.
Or-
Like
She's
like
insane.
she's insane and like she's hilarious, but you hate her at the same time. I'm not a big fan of her in real life. I don't. She just doesn't seem like she's the nicest person. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
I'm
but
just I'm just upset because Conan's production company, Team Coco, he has a bunch of different podcasts
yeah,
in his network, and one of them was called Parks and Recollection, and they were doing a breakdown of each episode, and they would have guest stars from, either the show or the writers, and for some reason, I don't know what season they ended up getting to, but the podcast is just like stopped, and I am so upset because I want all the behind the scene details of each episode,
yeah.
and I'm just so sad that
Oh,
I think they stopped like on season 4 or something.
oh wow, that's a shame. I was gonna say, and then I love like Ron. Like they all have. There's a there's like a sister town called
Yes,
Eagleton, and
Eagleton.
it's like the better version of Pawnee, essentially. Like Pawnee is like,
It's the rich version.
yeah, it's the rich version, and the smart version. You know, everybody's smarter.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, but everybody's got like almost has their own version, other than like I want to say like Andy and Donna didn't have like their own Eagleton version, but Ron has his where it's Ron Dunn, who's like a hippie,
Rondon.
a vegan
Yes.
hippie.
Yes.
He's like he
Like his
first likes him.
worst nightmare.
It's like he's like, good God, what are you wearing? And he's got Birkenstocks on. He's like, a man's feet should be free, just like all chickens. And just the
But
utter disgusted look
there
of
was
Ron.
one time where I think Ron's barber dies
Yeah.
and they run into the other Ron played by oh my God, what's his name?
Um,
Sam Elliott, who
Sam Elliott. I almost
I
said Sam
absolutely
Shepard, but
love
that's
Sam
yes.
Elliott. Yeah. And he's like, "Well, what about you?" And you're like, "Oh, when my hair has fulfilled its cycle, it just falls out." And Ron is like, "Please get this man away from me
I,
before I commit an act of physical violence."
he just utterly can't stand the other Ron. Well, and then the best part is that Donna's gay uh, hairstylist becomes Ron's barber. They bond.
Yes, because he talks about Euro trash, and of course, Ron famously hates all of Europe.
He's like, yes, it is a
Yes,
garbage
it is a
country.
garbage. Please tell me more about this
Please tell
Euro
me
trash.
more. Yeah, no,
Typhoon.
it
That
it
was
does.
his name.
Yeah,
Typhoon.
Typhoon. It does get a little over the top in the last season with kind of like how they end it because they go into the future. But at the same
Well,
time, I think they were kind of like, how do we wrap this up? Like, because
well, that season wasn't supposed to exist.
oh, okay, I didn't know
That
that.
season wasn't supposed to exist. It was supposed to stop in season 6 with the Unity concert, and then I don't know what happened, why they decided to go for another season. When I saw how season 6 ended the first time, and then when I watched the first couple of episodes of season 7, I was like, why did they continue? It ended so perfectly in season 6. But then by the time it got to the end of season 7, honestly, the more I watch it, the more and more season 7 has grown on me, and the way that it ends, I still cry
Yeah.
every single time.
I just think they were trying to bookmark everybody and have fun
Well,
with it. Is really what it
the
is.
the end of season 6 doesn't really tell you what happens with Leslie, and her political career is such a big part of the show, and her aspirations to move in the out of the ranks of Parks and Rec and get into, Congress and stuff like that. So that was the only reason why I appreciated season 7, is because we got a little bit more of her progression in Washington DC and in government, which,
Yeah.
you know, I loved the character so much. That's what I wanted for her, was for her to get everything that she wanted. So
No,
it's
it's
just a
it's good.
feel good show. It is. It's silly.
It is. It's one of those that does. It starts off very much like The Office, and then they can
Hmm.
kind of tell like it just doesn't work like The Office because it's not
Yeah.
just because they're in an office doesn't make it The Office. And I
Well, they tried to make her female Michael, and it just didn't work.
yeah, they
They
almost
made her
had
too dopey.
they almost had a crossover episode where they were going to do two episodes,
Oh, I didn't
and
know that.
and part of me goes like I kind of wish that had happened because like
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Dwight and Ron encounter each other, you know. Um, but yeah, at the same time, I'm glad that it didn't. And then also too, clearly there was somebody from Michigan on that show because Verner's soda
Hmm.
is
Oh, really?
portrayed, and that's actually a ginger ale that's made in Detroit.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's I love it. occasionally I was able to find it when I lived in California at certain spots, and then I've seen it I think once here. It's it's always at like a liquor store for some reason. Seem to have it. Um, it's so good on its own. So I'm like, I don't know why you'd mix this with booze and ruin it. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you ever can find it, it's super good. And in fact, the 7-Elevens in Michigan seasonally will have Verner's flavored Slurpees, which I've never had a chance to
I've
experience.
never heard of this.
Yeah, it's a real ginger ale. It's super good.
Interesting.
It's
Hmm.
it's a lot like if you ever had like Canadian Dry, it's stronger than that in terms of like the
Really?
ginger,
Oh, wow.
but it's not. Yeah, it's a strong. It's bolder. I guess is the better way
Oh,
I would put it.
well,
But
now I want to go look for it.
yeah, yeah. I would almost say with where you're located, like you'd have probably a better chance of
I was gonna
finding
say
it.
most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely not something in Miami.
Well, and Matt Cat's from Michigan. Matt Cat has had Werner, so
Okay.
he can. Yeah, yeah.
You can attest
See,
to it.
here he says it. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
Werner. It is. I love that they feature that. But no, I love this. And well, too, like even like April, there's that episode where they're it's Ron's first wife comes back and like totally like pussy whips him. Like, well, all of his
Yes,
wives do
yes,
that,
yes. Yeah,
but
in
Tammy
some way.
too is his real wife, wife in real life, and she makes him go insane. But his first wife, she like pussy whips him, makes
Oh,
him
yeah.
shave his mustache, and him and his first ex-wife and his mom, they're trying to win him back, and they have it through like they're drinking like moonshine, like this ultra strong moonshine, and
It
it,
removed the varnish on your
yeah,
paint.
yeah, it's for removing warts and
Yes.
varnish off speedboats. Um, but Leslie's like, I'm gonna is like drinking it. And she's like, oh my god, she's like, it's poison. And then April's like, I'm Puerto Rican, we
I'm
can drink it. She takes a sip, spits it out.
You-
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
fucking god.
there's so many censored swearing in this show. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could hear like the actual swearing, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't know, the bleeps somehow make it funnier. So I don't know what it is.
Um, I just realized I'm using the wrong microphone.
Oh. Whoops.
Here, let me fix it. Now I'm on. I thought I was using my podcasting microphone. I've been using my camera. I can only imagine how I've sounded. Oh my goodness,
You sound good to me on my end, so
good. It's like, I'm like, why is the wrong cable in this microphone? Wow. Okay, well, maybe I sound different now. That's too funny. What an amateur I am. But yeah, when you pick this, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
and I'm going to apologize now for my last pick
Yeah,
because
just
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of moans and
well,
groans in the
just
chat.
just like with your movie picks, where you've got like sweet wholesome, here you've got like classic silliness, and then you've got modern silliness, and
You're
then you've
right, I
got
did go off the rails on the
and
third
and
choice.
then you've got smut. Just I oh thank you, Matt Cat. I appreciate that.
Look,
Yeah, it's fine. It's your picks. These are the things that you
look,
enjoy and make you happy.
look.
You're a
There are a
woman. I get it.
lot there are a lot of aspects of me there are a lot of aspects of me that are very quote unquote tomboyish. But at the end of the day, I'm your typical chick. I love fashion and I love the drama of this show. It is so some of the stuff that they is so stupid. I just love it. I love Sex and the City. It does genuinely make you laugh. I'm not saying all of these characters are great. The main character, Carrie Bradshaw, is like the worst thing to happen ever. to women, but the other three are actually really great. I love watching the show. I was actually just watching a few episodes today. I mean, it's just one of those shows where if I'm bored or I want to throw something on while I'm working, because I work from home, this is usually on in the background along with Parks and Rec or something. I don't know.
Um, I,
It's just the
I
really girly side of me.
well, Matt Cat would totally watch this show with you. He's already getting all excited. He's already said hello, lover.
Hello, lover.
I think he meant to say Shanti. He called you Charity. And then, how do you feel about the movies? I was just gonna say, well,
Okay,
sometimes clearly you need to wear a black pencil dress and drink an apple teeny.
I I like the first movie. I think the second movie is shit, but that's all, but at the same time, it's also just one of those, I'm bored and it's Sunday afternoon, so Sex and the City 2 is on. Sure, I'll watch it, but I can't say that it's a good movie.
don't
I
they
liked the first one.
don't they go to like Dubai in the second movie?
Yeah, they do. It's just terrible. That
Um,
movie was definitely a cash grab. Like the first one, I feel like there was actually some thought put into it. And now this sequel show that they did, and just like that, that
I
show is terrible, and they ruined literally all the characters.
when I heard that they were going to Dubai, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna go and get like ST'd. I won't say what it is. I'll just say the initials. That's all I could
And
think.
I'm sorry, women can hate Mr. Big all they want, but the more and more I watch the show, the more and more I have actually sympathy for Mr. Big because Carrie is fucking crazy.
Who is
Matt, I can't with you.
Kim Cattrall? Who is her character?
Kim Cattrall, Samantha. Samantha
Samantha.
Jones.
I was gonna say, well, Samantha,
PR.
Samantha was probably, I think, the best character. I think she was the funniest.
So, poor Josh. God bless him. God bless my man. I tortured him with this show to the point where now he knows what the episodes are. And he's like, I fucking hate Carrie. I hate her. But you
It
know
was,
what? At least Charlotte and Samantha, they're the two realest characters. They know what they want. They know what they're about. They don't apologize for it. And they go for it. And he's right. They are I like Samantha actually the most. Because she is just the most real. She's like, look, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. I want to do the deed until the day I
yeah,
die. All right, fine, cool. That's your choice. But then, but then I love Charlotte. You know,
yeah,
she wants to get married. She wants to be a mom. She wants to have kids. She wants to be June Cleaver.
yeah.
I
They're
really admire and appreciate that too about the character, you know. I mean, I clearly want to get married, so I wanted to have kids. So I relate to that character as well, where these characters that they know what they want what they want, and they go for it.
yeah.
Carrie can suck
I
it.
well, I was just gonna say, yeah. I couldn't think of it, and then you said Charlotte. I was like, they're Samantha and Charlotte are very much right. They're the opposite of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did watch a few seasons of this when it was on. I had a
Hmm.
girlfriend at the time that loved this show
Yeah.
and watched it, with her. And though I can't remember much of the show, but I like I said, I did like Samantha and I did like Charlotte of
And I do like Miranda, but like Carrie, there are certain things that the character has done on the show where I'm just like, God, you're an asshole. And they ruined her character in the newer show. Like I can't, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me so upset.
yeah. Um,
Now,
I
go ahead.
I was gonna say this. This is almost like I feel like is this the show version of your Showgirls?
No, that's the funny thing. I actually don't feel that way about Sex and the City. I
Okay.
mean, it was critically acclaimed when it was on. It did win awards and stuff. And I know that doesn't mean anything and it's all subjective and stuff like that. But again, just like anything else, that show was of its time.
Yeah.
And, it's about three women in their 30s, one approaching 40, because Samantha's like 10 years older than all of them. And it's just about their life in New York City and what it's like to be
I
single and dating. And let me tell you something, a lot of the conversations that they had, I've had them with my own girlfriends.
I was just gonna say, is this a show that
Exactly.
feels dated when you watch it? Like it's very much a product of its time,
When I
unlike
when I watched the first 2 seasons, yes, because it started in the '90s, and there's something about the '90s, that decade, that didn't age well, but
yeah,
something about the episodes once you get into the 2000s, it doesn't feel that way, especially, like, the fashion is just better, like, the '90s episodes are so '90s, you know what I mean?
yeah. No,
Which
I
is
hear you.
fine.
There's like shows that I think of that like I remember watching where I'm like I loved them so much when they were on, but like going back and watching them, like they're not bad, but they're dated. Like
Yeah.
Veronica Mars, that was a show I loved watching, and but like it's not the same like when you
Well,
rewatch it.
during COVID, I watched The Sopranos for the first time ever. And while I enjoyed the show, again, that was a show that started in the '90s.
Hmm.
And I actually feel like that show didn't age well. And I hate to say it, I think it's overrated. It was good.
It's
I mean, I have no problem with that type of stuff. I mean,
it's
Casino is one of my favorite movies, so I clearly got no problem with stuff about the mafia.
I was gonna say I recently had Paulie the Latino slant on, and that was actually one of his choices for TV, his
Oh,
favorites.
really? I don't know,
Hey,
it didn't impress me the way everyone spoke about it. I was like, okay."
well, I kind of feel like the people who speak highly of it are the people that watched it when it was on in its time.
That's my thing I think it's because I didn't watch it when it was, at the height of, Soprano mania, but
I feel like this is some kind of you must have to watch the show to get this.
I do understand where that's from. I do not wear a scrunchie, and I am not from Macon, Georgia. He will know what that means.
Okay. uh,
Yeah, no, huge, huge fan of the show. I remember when they were when they decided to start airing the reruns on TBS, because my parents didn't pay for HBO. My dad thought that, the premium stuff was just a waste of money. So when it came to TBS, even though of course it was edited, my sister and I were like all over that and watched every single episode on TBS. And then once I had HBO and stuff, forget it. I just would constantly rewatch it like I
you're
would
like, so
Friends.
this is what I missed.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, that was a weird cut to make. I mean, I get it, but the context, man. And
Yeah,
again, like a lot of these conversations are some real ass conversations that chicks have with each other. So, from a female standpoint, I mean, it is for women. I don't
sure.
expect men to like it, honestly, except Matt, who
Yeah.
seems to really really like it
Well,
and know it well.
Matt, he probably won't disagree with me here, but Matt's a very sassy man.
He's a sassy man. I
He
like
is a,
that.
he is a very
I
sassy
am
man.
proud of Josh though for making it seem like he wasn't paying attention while I was watching the show, but also paying attention because he knows too many of the episodes now. Because I'm just constantly rewatching it. Poor thing.
Um,
Poor,
I'm
poor
I
thing.
I'm surprised my wife didn't pop up in the chat. I feel like I want to say she watched this, and I could see her going throwing in some reference to this. She watches everything. I feel like.
And again, I love the fashion. I like watching the fashion evolve. I mean,
Sure.
uh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I don't know. I've just always been into labels and like stuff like that. Don't own any of it, but maybe a couple things here and there. But yeah, it definitely speaks to
Which half, Matt? That's all I have to ask. The bottom or the top half? Matt knows I'm just teasing him. I I was gonna say I was recently over on his. He does a podcast with his sister, which I
Oh,
think is really sweet. Yeah, and
that's nice.
it's BS drunk movie reviews, which it's
Oh God, that's awesome.
they uh, they do drink as they review films.
Oh my
But
God, that's great.
BS stands for one the what you're thinking of, but it also stands for brother and sister, which I think is very sweet.
That is really clever, and I like
It
that, and I
is.
applaud it.
It is. Yeah. When I found out about it, I'm like, oh, I love that. I love that it's the two of you get together and do that. And yeah, that does not surprise me. I was,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I was very much as in my teens and like my early 20s where I was big into like what I wore, but like now I'm married and I'm a dad, I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, another reason why I love this show, although I wouldn't go there right now, with the way things are, but I love New York City. I do.
Sure.
I love New York City. I love
But
the way it's filmed. It looks
yeah,
very, very organic. It doesn't feel
the
polished or like they're showing you New
well,
York.
but still the New York of this era when this was done was very different than the New York
Oh
now.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, no, no. And that's another thing. I watch this show and it becomes this thing of, well, now I'm just sad because things are just not what they used to be. And I get that that comes with age, but I feel like we're too young still to be feeling that way just yet. So,
Well, I hate to say it, it's we you know our era of where things when we were younger are very different than they are now. Yeah.
oh God, yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I do have two honorable
oh,
mentions.
you have two for your shows.
Well,
Okay.
because one of them, which I should smack myself for,
There's
and
there's no, there's nothing wrong with having two. Yeah, you're
I
totally fine.
cannot believe that I didn't think of this because it probably actually should have taken the place of Sex in the City.
Okay.
Shame on me
Yeah.
uh, for being a kid of TGIF, Boy Meets World.
Okay.
Oh my God. I love that show. I've seen it way too many times. I did a rewatch recently. And even Josh, who had never really seen it, he watched, a few episodes and he actually thought it was very good too. And oh my God, that series finale is so oh man. It doesn't matter how many times I watch that show, every time I get to the series finale, I cry because Mr. Feeney is the best. Ooh, man, who didn't want a teacher like Mr. Feeney?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
miss
didn't
those
watch that
days.
entire show. I watched I think like the first season or two. I remember that, and that was kind of towards the end of you know TGI
Yeah.
TGIF. And but I mean like my wife loves that show, and I know a lot of people who watched that and really loved it. And
It was just so good. It was just really, really good. And, you know, we were talking about it while I was watching the show, and I said to Josh, I was like, God, what do families watch anymore like this, where they sit down together? Like my parents looked forward to TGIF almost as much as my sister did. They loved watching this and Family Matters and Full House and
yeah,
Step by Step, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and things like Step by Step, Full House, and Boy Meets World, Family Matters, like they taught life lessons, when you're a kid and when you're a teenager and growing up and things like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it's like, what what do they have now?
well they're doing a remake of Fresh Prince, and it's like a drama, and I'm just like I
Oh
don't
my
like that.
God.
This
Have we forgotten how to laugh?
yeah, like one, it's just like I don't see that working. Like to me, like that's like making like the Andy Griffith Show be like a murder
No, man,
mystery show or something like that.
it just shows that it's nothing but a bunch of talentless hacks who can't think for themselves and think, let me just grab something that's old and see if I can improve upon it. There's nothing
Yeah,
to improve upon. There was nothing wrong with it when it originally aired as of its
yeah,
time. It was great then. Leave it where it is.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that to me, it was yeah. Fresh Prince was like a show. It was like for everybody. Yes, it had its times where it dealt with race because that it was about a black family, but that was not the main topic of it.
Yeah,
And Same thing with Family Matters. It was the same thing. It was a show for everybody.
it was.
And Yeah, they just everybody just they just want to redo everything, and it just come up with something original.
Yeah, please. I mean, do you have no life experiences to draw on that you have to, you know, go back and pick from something that's already been done? Like, has the well truly dried up that badly? You know?
I don't think it is. Again, it's the people who are getting the jobs that
Yeah,
you
no,
know, and
it's true.
it's poor choices.
Yeah.
But what did you have for your second honorable
My
mention?
second is a recent one, and I mentioned it earlier, and that is Smallville.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. That show holds a very special place in my heart because for those who don't know me, and then for those who do know me, I am a huge Batman fan. And I have loved Batman for a very long time, to the point where I used to like literally hate Superman. And I'm talking like hate Superman. And this guy that I used to be friends with, he was very much into Smallville, loved Superman, total opposite of me. We used to get into arguments almost about it and stuff, and why Superman sucked. And then he would tell me why Batman sucked. But Josh loves Superman. And I had never seen Smallville, obviously, because of that. But Josh loves Superman, and he got me to sit down and watch the Zack Snyder movies, Man of Steel, BVS, extended cut. And I was like, you know what? Now that I've given these a chance, these are really good. Then I watched James Gunn's Superman, and I said, what is this horseshit? And I said to Josh, I don't know what this is. And I know I'm not a big Superman fan, but I said, I know enough to know that I did not like what I just watched. And I said, you know what? I want to watch Smallville. So re did a first watch of Smallville, season 1 through season 10, like ripped through it. I loved it. I could not get enough of it. It has completely changed my mind about Superman because I needed to know Clark Kent. And I would say to anyone, if you don't know anything about Superman, I think Smallville is a fantastic jumping point. And I would say between Smallville and all the DC animated movies, I've gotten the best education on Superman and a lot of the DC superheroes. Just really great stuff. Tom Welling was fantastic. Really sold the sweet Clark Kent. It totally paid off in the end. I mean, I there was some really shameful crying happening at the end of Smallville. I mean,
A lot of your
the
picks have
happy
made you
tears.
cry.
Huh?
I said a lot of your picks have made you cry.
I I don't like crying in public. I'm not like that. I'm very much in my own head, and I don't like people seeing me cry. Makes me feel weak in a way. So to a certain extent, I think that's why I like movies and TV shows that evoke that kind of feeling and make me cry, because it gives me that chance to, I guess, release without being embarrassed by it, because, a lot of people get emotional when they watch certain content. So, and that's me. I mean, TV shows and movies, I don't know. They just really, they just get right to me. So if it affects me that way, then
Nothing wrong with that.
that's for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then yeah, it's good stuff.
it is. Yeah, I was gonna say Tom Rogue Attraction is a big Smallville fan, and it sounds like
Oh,
so is Matt Cat there. My wife is too. she's watched that
I
a couple
thought it was
times.
so good.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
yeah.
well, again, no, I thought all great picks, and nothing wrong with having an honorable mentions, and um, you know, I
Yeah,
love
and I
that.
was saying earlier, like it was a little eh, it was easier to pick the shows than to pick the movies
Sure.
because yeah, shows just take up so much time. And if I'm gonna commit to it, it better be really, really good. Like Josh just showed me the show Lost. That blew me away. I almost put that on my list. Like Lost really blew me away. I
Yeah, I remember
high
that.
that's a highly misunderstood show. A highly
Yeah,
misunderstood show.
I remember when that show came out too. I didn't stick with it all. I only
Oh
watched it
no,
early on.
I it was powerful stuff. I really loved it. Yeah, I really did. That show is so much more than just the mystery of the island. Yeah, it's some pretty philosophical type
I mean,
stuff.
I've heard all the theories with it. That was like a show that just it made
Yeah,
people's heads spin with what things are and what they could be and what they mean and
yeah.
um,
And then my last recommendation, which has become a new favorite, Schitt's Creek.
yeah, my wife likes that. I've never watched that, but I've heard people talk about it.
Oh my God. That is if you've if you've ever watched and are a fan of Gilligan's Island, it's
Oh,
kind
okay.
of got that kind of, thing going for it. It's obviously more than just that, but no, it's really, really, really funny. And again, like Parks and Rec, really sweet. That town is crazy, but at the same time,
Well,
like I would so want to live there.
I haven't watched it. Like I said, my wife's watched it, but I didn't. I wasn't aware that that was Eugene Levy's son. And when I kind of heard that, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and they co-created it, co-created the show together and then, did the show together and it's very good. Yeah.
So
That one kept me going during COVID lockdown, actually. It was very, very uplifting. Yeah,
not Tiger King.
bro.
Ah,
Tiger King was amazing.
I know that's such a good one. That was such. It was
What a
just. It,
phenomenon that was.
I know what a moment in time that was. But no, I loved all your choices. I love
Oh,
that you
thanks.
wanted to come on and share all these and talk about
Yeah,
them. And
yeah. It was
it
so
was
good seeing you.
it was so good seeing you too. So sad that I wasn't able to see Josh, but
No, it's okay.
you've seen him once. You've seen him enough, I'm sure. But again, no, thank you
That's what
for
I say every day. No, I'm
yeah.
joking.
But no, I'm so glad you wanted to be on here, and it
Yeah,
was fun to
absolutely.
hang out and catch up and hear about these, and um, maybe too I can get Josh on in the future and
Oh, I'm sure he would love that. Yeah.
hear what he has to pick. But no, all great choices, and again, yeah, thanks for being on, and
Yeah.
this was a blast, and hopefully I didn't keep you too long. I appreciate you sticking around for two
No, no,
hours.
no.
Talk.
Don't worry. I took a nap. I took a
Oh,
little
perfect.
snooze on the couch while I had Sex in the City going on in the background. So I took a little snooze before I came on. So don't worry.
That's another one when you know it's a great show when you
No,
can
I'm telling you,
when you're comforted by falling asleep to the show
I'm
too.
being serious. You can ask Josh. I was not trying to get out of it. I'm pretty sure I had the norovirus last week is what I had. And I was crying, like literally crying. Like I was so upset. I just was not feeling well. I tried to make it and then
Uh,
no.
you were like, I'm not feeling well, but I'll be there. And I'm like, I just won't be on camera. And I'm like, if you're not feeling well, I'm like, I'd rather you not come on because I'm like, then it's not going to
Thank
be any
God,
fun.
because I felt so terrible. But when
Yeah.
you told me that, the guest for this week was, might back out or whatever, I was like, okay, well then put me
Yeah.
in as
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
backup. I'll be the
No,
understudy.
I, again, I have people on for the fun of it. And like, last thing I want to do is have somebody on when they're feeling miserable. Like,
No, yeah, exactly. And I was
yeah.
really excited about this. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I wanted to be like totally in it.
No, no, it was great. You are. I loved it. Well, thank you again for being on.
Sure.
And like I said, I've got links to Shanti for YouTube channel and where to find her on Twitter or X, like you said, whatever you want to call it. You are active active there, and you know, give her a follow. She's a lot of fun, and
Thanks.
yeah, go check out Pop My Culture. Even though it's not active at the moment, you know, never know when it's going to come back. But a lot of good content there. But definitely
Yeah,
uh,
take a look at our catalog, and when we come
not.
back, you'll know what we're all about. So,
Yeah, I was going to say it's not for something to be around the family, not for kids.
and with the season coming up, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas to you and your family, and or
Thank you.
anyone else who celebrates Merry Christmas. And we're in it right now, so anyone who celebrates Happy Hanukkah. So
Very
just
nice.
wanted
And
to get that out there. I love the holidays, so we're all decorated here. So
oh, okay. Yeah, no, very fun. Well, yeah, it's around the corner, so I do. I hope you and Josh have a very nice holiday and
thank you.
have a good time, have a lot of fun. And but yeah, with that, this is the last show for the year. By the way, I'll be back in January. I don't know what date, but first or second week, I'll be back. So yeah, I'm glad to end
Oh, you ended
the
with me. What a bummer.
I ended
I hope I delivered.
the year with you, and you know, 10th episode to
Oh,
have you
thank
on
you.
is
Cool.
awesome. So yeah, thank you, and yeah, I'll be
Yep,
back.
I'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, see you in the new year. So with that, we will say good night and goodbye.
Bye,
See ya.
everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.